Hello YouTube friends and family, Frank here again with another fun and exciting video. You're going to be thrilled. Anyway, and even if you're not, this is an important video. It's not going to be about touring a house or anything like that. I just wanted to share some personal thoughts with everybody out there, especially for those who may not live in the villages, but especially for those who do, and just for whatever reason seem to be kind of clueless or uninformed or just whatever. But yes, believe it or not, there are grown adults who live in the villages, and I'm sure everywhere else, myself included at times. I'm no different than anybody else, but what I do wanted to talk about was the excessive speeding, other issues that are within the bubble. It's rather apparent that, Morse Boulevard, all the way from Megason Road, even going all the way up north, is almost like a racetrack at times. I've seen it. I've traveled that road up and down several times. The speed limit I think is, I want to say like 35, and I know people are doing 45. I've done 45, 40, and it still would have folks flying past me. I mean, just flying past me at 45 now. I'm doing 45, for example, and there people are booking in a 35 mile an hour zone. But most of the time, which I can only speak for myself, I'm running about 40, 35, 40 or so, just to try to do the right thing. But that's just me, right? I saw a car not too long ago come up on a turnabout, those roundabouts. Speed limit in those areas are 20 miles an hour going around there. And this is no lie. I have seen jokers whipping through there where a car was nearly on two wheels. It came around that turn to continue on Morse, and he was going so fast around that turn that I could see the car leaning over, tires screeching, and then he snapped back to gain control of the car when he tried to straighten it back up to continue down, which in my opinion is totally reckless. It's just unnecessary. First of all, it's irresponsible, it's immature, it's childish, and it's just a complete disregard for other drivers and other people around you. And then we wonder why we have golf carts that are slammed into, people are hit, people lose control of their car, slam into trees and knock them over. It's really frustrating to see. I'm normally not one to get on YouTube and to bellyache or anything like that. I'm not one of these old codgers that are just obsessed with speeding, things like that. It's not that at all. But what it's come down to is I've seen it so much, and we've had so many accidents, especially right there at SR 44, Morse Boulevard, and different places where there's 4-car accidents, 6 cars, 2 cars, or whatever the case is right there. And I'm almost willing to say maybe 8 out of 10 situations where people are either speeding, driving recklessly, maybe they're on their cell phones or something else, simply just not paying attention to their surroundings. And really, almost all accidents can be avoided if people would simply just slow down a little bit, adhere to the speed limits that are, keep it within that safe range, and just kind of, pay attention to who and what's around you and take your time a little bit. That's really all it is. It's just common courtesy and it's common sense. But in today's day and age, common sense it's almost a rarity anymore, I guess. But that topic just kind of leads me to just, mentioning that, we also have a problem with golf carts flying on the golf cart paths, so the intermodal, pathways there, which is not as big of an issue as, cars going down Morse or even Buena Vista or wherever it's occurring. But, the speed limit is supposed to be 20 miles an hour, which in my opinion, a lot of these problems that are happening on the golf cart paths or the walking paths or wherever it is, to me, I've been blaming it's the village's fault, it's the village's fault, or, it's the developer's fault, or whoever is responsible for the safety and the maintenance and the I don't know what's the word I'm looking for those paths, that because there's really no accountability that I've ever seen, there's just no accountability. And so people are going to do what they're going to do. You've got people that are just super impatient. You got people who just seem to be entitled, self-entitlement, to think that they own the road, or trying to impress somebody because they think they have the fastest golf cart around, or just, they're just so wrapped up in their own world that they just are oblivious to, like anybody else around them. But, I'm guilty of going, over 20 miles an hour in my golf cart, 22, 20, But usually if I'm doing that, it's going to be on a straightaway for a long distance where there's really nobody around. Those issues really aren't that big of a problem, but what it can come to be a problem is if people are drinking and driving, because, if you get caught drinking and driving on your golf cart, you can be cited and treated the same way you would be if you were in your vehicle, your car or your truck or whatever. If you get into an accident, it's actually going to be a lot worse than it would be in your car. In my opinion, obviously a golf cart is not much. There's not a lot of protection sitting on a golf cart, right? They can be top heavy if you're going too fast and you try to make a turn too quickly or too sharp. You risk flipping them or throwing your passenger out. When I have my wife with me in my golf cart, she's precious cargo. And so therefore, I'm going to drive my cart in accordance to just remembering that. I have a passenger with me. She is precious cargo. So her safety is number one, even above my own. But needless to say, another problem that I've noticed, and other people as well, sometimes I see them on a Facebook page or somebody's blogging something or whatever, and they'll put an article up or some pictures where people will see somebody in their car, street legal car or what have you, on a golf cart path, or your intermodal pathway. Those golf cart paths, so to speak, aren't just golf carts, but your car is not allowed on a golf cart path. And I say that because everybody identifies with golf cart paths. It's just easier to identify and understand what I'm talking about. But if you're driving your smart car or your little Fiat or something on those paths, it is illegal. And if you're caught, you will be cited for it. Also, I just wanted to mention right quickly that a golf cart is not allowed on a walking path. Okay, there is a difference between the golf cart paths, golf cart trails, and the walking trails, the walking paths where people walk on them. They ride their bikes on them. There are no golf carts of any kind on a walking path, period. And how do you identify them? Well, one big clue for those people who just don't seem to get it, a walking path, when you enter it at the beginning and even at the end of that path, are going to have two posts. That's to let you know that your cart is not allowed, but only walkers and bicycles or skateboard. You know, you can go on there with your rollerblades, but just know motorized vehicles are supposed to be on those paths. A golf cart trail will have one post right there in the middle of the road, right? One car can go in, one car can go out. Just one post at the beginning and on the end usually. There are differences. The cart paths are generally going to be even wider. So even though the developer or whomever is responsible for when they first build these paths aren't putting up a speed limit sign, even though I think they should, you know, especially right there at the beginning of a path, you could have just a cute, you know, tasteful looking little sign that'll say, you know, speed limit 20, just to remind people, or right there at the beginning of stuff, golf carts only or whatever, or no golf carts allowed here, or, you know, no cars allowed on this, you know, somewhere at the very beginning, so when people enter it at first, is a quick visual reminder. But there's nothing like that anywhere. The only time that I've ever seen anything like that is when you first enter the golf cart bridges, it'll say no cars, or carts only, carts only. And I have seen knuckleheads go on the golf cart bridge in their personal vehicles. It has happened. I'm not the only one who's seen it. Other people have caught people doing it. Those are potential accidents, and people can get hurt because somebody either got confused or they're not paying attention to what they're doing. So I'm not trying to make this into a long gripe session. It's really not about that. It's just to make aware of an issue, just to make people aware of things for those people who might not be aware of those. And most people probably will be. It's just a reminder for those out there to just say, hey, people, you know, let's just be a little bit more mindful of other people around us, be cognitive of, you know, the rules of the road, the speed limits, where we're at, where we're living at. You know, Morris Boulevard isn't a drag strip. And it's especially bad from that Morris Boulevard, that junction right there where it just runs into Warm Springs is like a racetrack. And people are flying through there all the time, and there's never any police. I have seen a couple of them here lately. It's just not nearly enough. It's not monitored closely enough. People get in the Corvettes and rev their engines as loud as they can, like somebody's going to be impressed with that nonsense. It's just complete immaturity. It's childish. And frankly, people who own those kind of vehicles who just can't seem to refrain from doing that in areas where they shouldn't be doing it, shouldn't be owning them. They don't need it. They're not mature enough to handle it. But those are my personal thoughts. This video was just simply just to, put a little awareness out there and just remind people, hey, just, let's be a little bit cautious of one another, or where our surroundings, or where we're at, please, and just look out for each other and try to be a little bit safer on the roads, because, the Villages is technically most, a retirement community, if that's still true. But so yeah, we're going to have a lot of seniors and older folks around there, and it's not a place for hot dogging and acting reckless and just have a blatant disregard for law and order. That's all I want to say. I love you guys. We love all our viewers, all our subscribers. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Click that like button down below. Subscribe. Ring that notification bell. It'll just simply tell you when we upload a new video. It's all free. It doesn't cost you a dime, not even a penny, nothing. If you would like to support the channel, I would encourage you to do so. That was greatly appreciated, but not necessary. But stay tuned for future videos. I got more coming. God bless. And y'all be safe out there, people. And have a great day. It's hot outside, so stay hydrated. We'll see you soon.